One more piece of business here. I'm going to have Jim Carpenter, the co-chair of the Issues Committee, come up and give a quick report.
There's a couple of new people here that came to the Issues Committee. Would you mind standing? Stephanie Young. Dan, and so thanks for coming, and some of them are going to join the Democratic Party too, so I appreciate it. What we did in the Issues Committee tonight was talk about the lies and the misinformation that is characteristic of the debates and of the airwaves, and is being paid for now with money that we don't know where it's coming from because of the unfortunate decision of the U.S. Supreme Court. But now we're not going to talk about all the lies, but some of the favorites that we want to talk about. Number one, when Johnson says that global warming is not a settled science, that's a lie. You can ask the scientific community, they'll say it's a lie. When Johnson said the stimulus didn't work, that's a lie. It didn't work as well as we would have liked, but without the stimulus, things would have been much worse. And not only that, but conservative economist Mark Zandi, for instance, makes it very clear. He wrote an article about this. He said, even though he was the consultant to John McCain, he said without the stimulus, we would have been much worse. And so that's a lie to say that the stimulus did no good. I heard Johnson say that the money in the Social Security Trust Fund has been spent. That's a lie. It's been lent. As an accountant, you would think Johnson would know the difference between spending and lending. It was lent to the safest place you can lend money to, the U.S. Treasury. Of course, when you put your money in a bank, it's not put in a safe box, it's lent safely. That's exactly what the Social Security Trust Fund did. And we were presenting some excellent information by Cam about the claim that we have the greatest healthcare system in the world. What we have is the world's most expensive healthcare system. When it comes to helping people stay healthy, we are far from the world's healthiest society. And as we know, Obama and the Democratic Congress is trying to change that by making preventive health care the first priority, and by increasing access to everybody in this country so that they can have decent health care. And also pointed out that when you look at economic growth, under Democratic presidents, inequality became less. Under Republican presidents, inequality became greater. But not only that, when we have less income inequality, the whole country grows better. But the middle class and even the upper middle class. So getting more income, reducing income inequality is good for economic growth. So that's what we talked about in our campaign. And I know Bob Bowens, I know this is going to, talking about the subsidies for high-speed rail going to break the budget. What kind of misinformation is that? What is that, $8 million a year? What's the transportation budget, $2 billion a year? So you want to do a little math here. You divide $8 million by $2 billion, and my math shows it's less than 0.5%. That's the cost of subsidizing high-speed rail. Less than 0.5% of the state transportation budget. Why should we be focusing on 0.5% of the state transportation budget? That's enough. But let me tell you, we're not going to change the lies until we get some better news reporting. And then we,
Fox News.
Of course, that means changing Fox News and making it an honest station, and also changing that Supreme Court decision. Thank you.